It was a warm Friday evening when everything I thought I knew about love, loyalty, and silence began to unravel. My name is Alina, and what I'm about to share is not just a story. It's a chapter from my life I never imagined I'd live through. I had been married for 7 years, working as a freelance editor from home while my husband, Rayyan, managed his growing digital marketing firm. We lived in a cozy suburban house nestled on a quiet street, where every neighbor knew the next. It was peaceful, until that one evening, when she opened the door in a simple t-shirt and whispered those 4 words that still echo in my mind. "We need to talk." Her name was Laura. She had moved into the house across the street about a year ago. Divorced, early 30s, no children. We waved at each other occasionally and exchanged small talk by the mailbox. She was always kind, always smiling, but distant in a way that seemed intentional. I never questioned it. People have their walls, and I was respectful of that. But the day she knocked on my door, something was clearly different. The sun had just begun to dip below the horizon when I heard the knock. It was gentle, hesitant, almost as if she wasn't sure whether she should be doing it at all. I opened the door, expecting maybe a parcel mix-up or a neighborhood concern. But there she stood, barefoot, in a loose white t-shirt that reached just past her thighs, her face pale and lips trembling. "Alina," she whispered, barely able to meet my eyes. "We need to talk." For a moment, time stood still. Her voice cracked under the weight of her emotions, and instinctively, I stepped aside and let her in. She walked slowly to the couch, her arms crossed tightly over her chest, her eyes full of something I couldn't name. Fear, guilt, sorrow, maybe all 3. I shut the door gently behind her and followed, my heartbeat echoing in my ears. "I don't even know how to start this," she began, her voice shaky. "But I can't stay silent anymore." I sat across from her, unsure of what I was about to hear, but certain it wasn't good. Laura took a deep breath and looked at me with tears gathering in the corners of her eyes. "I've been seeing Rayyan," she said, her voice barely a whisper. At first, I didn't comprehend. It was as if my brain refused to translate her words into meaning. "Seeing him? Like seeing him?" I stared at her, confused, numb. "For how long?" I asked, my voice flat, my hands now trembling. "6 months," she said. I didn't mean for it to happen. I swear. But it did. It started small, just casual conversations when he'd come home late and see me outside, watering the plants or walking. Then he came over one night when you were out of town, and it turned into something more. I felt the blood drain from my face. Every cell in my body seemed to freeze. I wanted to scream, cry, throw something, anything. But I just sat there, absorbing the betrayal that felt like poison crawling through my veins. She reached into her purse and pulled out a phone, tapping the screen and holding it out to me. Messages. Dozens of them. Rayyan's name across the top. I scanned them in disbelief. Flirty exchanges, plans to meet, expressions of desire. One message read, "Wish you were lying next to me instead of her." I dropped the phone as if it had burned my hand. "I didn't come to hurt you," Laura said, tears rolling down her cheeks. "I came because I realized I was part of something wrong. And you deserve the truth." My body moved on its own as I stood up, walked to the kitchen, and poured a glass of water. The numbness was quickly being replaced by something else, rage. How could he? My Rayyan. The man I supported when his business nearly collapsed. The man I sacrificed my own career for. The man who promised me a forever. Why now? I finally asked, voice bitter. "Why tell me now?" "Because I ended it," she said. "Last night." I told him I couldn't continue. He got angry, told me I was ruining everything. But I realized I had already ruined something by being with him. I was wrong, Alina. So wrong. I didn't thank her. I couldn't. I simply asked her to leave. And she did, quietly, remorsefully, with her shoulders hunched like she carried the weight of her guilt on her back. That night, I didn't confront Rayyan. I watched him walk in, kiss my forehead like he always did, and chat about work over dinner like everything was fine. The duality of his behavior disgusted me. I lay awake in bed beside him, staring at the ceiling, replaying every word, every message, every lie. My mind spiraled into a storm of memories. Late nights at the office, sudden weekend trips, his distance, the subtle shift in his touch.